Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a bonus Salebox, because apparently my ability to see the future is severely impaired, most likely by some kind of electromagnetic interference. Bad luck, bad luck. So, we had some bad sales this week, until today, when I released that video, having recorded it yesterday, and then suddenly, a bunch of good stuff actually goes on sale. So let's cover that as well, shall we? Kicking off with the Saints Row franchise, heavily discounted. Even the new one, Saints Row 4, is 66% off, which is a really, really good discount, as is almost all of the DLC, with the exception of How the Saints Save Christmas. However, if you pick up the Season Pass, which is actually 66% off, you get that, which gives you Enter the Dominatrix and How the Saints Save Christmas significantly cheaper than buying How the Saints Save Christmas. I think almost that might be a pricing error, because that DLC has been out for a few months now. You'd think that it would also be discounted, but apparently not. Whatever the case, grabbing the Season Pass is clearly the best deal there. The rest of it you can really take or leave. For the most part, it's just aesthetic tat, so it's not something you really need to concern yourself with too much. There's also Saints Row the 3rd for 80% off, which is a pretty good discount, alongside the fact that the Season Pass for that game is also heavily discounted. But if you don't already own Saints Row the 3rd, you are much better off just getting the full package, which gets you all of the Season Pass content alongside a huge amount of this kind of slapdash add-on pre-order bonus nonsense content, which is all available there as well. I would definitely say that Saints Row 4 is a better game, though if you are looking for something that's just a little bit more grounded in reality, only slightly though, Saints Row the 3rd does have a lot going for it in that respect. It's still a gangster game in which you drive around in cars, even though it's in the future and there's a lot of weird stuff going on, especially in the DLC. You are not a superhero. So yeah, there is definitely a reason to buy that. Strangely enough, I'd actually recommend Saints Row 2 as well. A lot of you are going to turn around and say, what the hell are you talking about? That was a terrible port. You're right, but there is a mod for it which significantly improves that. If you download the mega mod, Gentlemen of the Row, you'll find that not only does it really nicely balance things up and provide some really nice content, but it also significantly improves the performance of the game and fixes an awful lot of bugs. Still not perfect, certainly, but actually worthy of your time now, which is good, because a lot of people will claim that Saints Row 2 was actually the best in the series, simply due to the fact that it hadn't really gone absolutely insane in terms of its content, and it remains, again, more grounded to reality. It also had a hell of a lot of activities and really good story missions to do, so Saints Row 2 actually not too shabby at all. But yeah, the whole Saints Row franchise available on sale right now until April the 18th. That's the midweek madness, so you're gonna have to jump on that pretty quickly. So, the other big sale that's going on, that's also running until April the 18th. This is for a big chunk of the LEGO franchise, but not all of it, strangely enough. So, the games that are discounted are LEGO Marvel, LEGO Lord of the Rings, LEGO Harry Potter, the 2 games, that's years 1 through 4 and 5 through 7, and then the 2 LEGO Batman games. The rest of them aren't. So, Star Wars Complete Saga, not discounted. Indiana Jones, not discounted. LEGO Movie, not discounted. You can miss out on LEGO Movie without too much of a problem, and Indiana Jones was probably some of the weakest of the series, but not being able to get LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga on the discount is a little bit disappointing. Regardless, I would give my recommendation to LEGO Batman 2. I think it's the best one available of that series, although LEGO Marvel is pretty good as well. They're all pretty good, but there's not one of them I point to and just say, look, this is a really exceptional game. They're all good, fun, if fairly easy action adventures. The biggest strength, of course, is the sense of humor, but LEGO DC Superheroes does have this open world thing going on with it. So if you wish to drive around a LEGO Gotham City in the LEGO Batmobile, then you are more than capable of doing just that. And of course, you can play other DC superheroes such as Superman, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. LEGO Lord of the Rings is pretty good too. Again, they're all kind of the same. You are going to get a fairly easy but enjoyable action-adventure that is certainly played well in local co-op, and has a ton of references and a really nice interpretation of, no doubt, a franchise that you actually enjoy. That's the real strength, the ability to put a little twist on that franchise. I remember playing the original LEGO Star Wars and being really impressed by what they were doing with the cutscenes, simply because, even though it was obviously aimed at kids, it was actually very funny. I think it almost lost something in the fact that the later versions of it actually have voice acting now. I think the silent comedy was actually a big strength of the original titles, but yeah, you know, all the LEGO games are pretty good in their own right, so pick the one that you like the most based on the franchise that you enjoy. The one caveat that I would give you, especially when it comes to LEGO Marvel and indeed DC to some degree, is that these games were designed for controllers, so your experience with mouse and keyboard will definitely be subpar, especially when you're doing things like flying. That can be a little bit difficult. It's not impossible to play them with mouse and keyboard, but again, I would recommend using a controller for that stuff. Alright folks, that wraps me up for that quick extra sale box. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.